2 people have been killed in a shooting incident at a back-to-school event by Randwater and the Johannesburg Council in Zakariyya Park. That's in the south of Johannesburg. A Randwater executive was among those who were fatally wounded, along with a second attendee. The utility says it will not release the name of the employee without the family's consent. The City of Johannesburg's Chief Whip, Sithembiso Zungu, is among 3 people who were wounded at the same event. Let's continue with reaction for you this Tuesday morning. Being our guest, Micheal Sun is a DA councillor and joins us now via our video link. And it's great to have you on the program, Micheal. Thanks very much indeed for making time. In your statement, the DA describes this as an assassination-style shooting. There's obvious questions here around what the motive could have been.
Good morning, Dave. It's certainly very disappointing and sad day for Joburg residents in terms of safety in the community. And firstly, we want to convey our deepest condolences to those families of the deceased and the Joburg City Council Chief Whip, Councillor Zungu, a speedy recovery. If you look at what has happened, it's certainly, the gunmen, when they were with their mission, they were there to shoot somebody, and certainly, as we've described, the assassination style shooting, it's very concerning. And from what we've gathered on the ground, it is more than just a random drive-by shooting. In fact, the gunmen were pointing and targeting somebody. Certainly for us, it's a motivated killing. We will ourselves be talking to the members of the community involved and trying to get as much information as we can so we can assist the police with the investigations.
Yeah, if there was clear intent here to take someone's life, I'm sure you've given some thought, Micheal, to why that would be the case. I mean, to what end do you think?
It's very interesting that we are not seeing more information coming out from Randwater. We do respect the privacy of the employees and staff members. I've also seen the statement they've released. But it is quite concerning that government would go to the extent of shooting at a event where school children could gather and receive donations. I mean, this is some serious hate and some serious motivation that's involved. I obviously not at liberty to share with you what has been indicated to us from the community members, because we certainly don't want to jeopardize the investigation by the police. But what we've now received, it's quite concerning, something towards a corrupt deal. But that is, of course, speculation at the moment. We do not want to dive any more into that. But we certainly want to call on the police to swiftly arrest those suspects involved in the shooting.
Yeah. The incident, of course, also brings into sharp focus the City of Joburg's ability to respond to such crimes. In fact, a tactical response unit was set up, I think it was November last year, and at the time it was bandied about as this unit that will bolster the police's ability to respond by adding essentially more capacity for the City of Joburg specifically. There's going to be questions around where this unit was and whether or not it could have been on the ground to respond much more speedily at the time of this incident.
You're quite right. We hear all about these special units and these tactical units and teams, but where are they when there's a crisis? And certainly when these are events where again, I repeat, there were the children involved, certainly there should be much more, pre-clearance or preparation done in terms of safety checks. It seems like as if this is just a normal event. And again, we do understand that, nobody expects shooters to arrive and start shooting, but those concerns, especially where security is a major concern in the city of Joburg, we need to take it very seriously, ensure those technical teams are deployed as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Look, not to conflate issues, but this is happening in the context of so many other crime-related problems in the city of Johannesburg. I mean, at the moment, we're sitting through that inquiry probing the building fire, and there is a connection in some respects about whether or not, quite frankly, the council has lost the city. How do you see that?
Well, many residents in the city of Joburg would have known the DA is calling for dissolution of council. Exactly of that reason, we think council should be dissolved. The powers be given back to the residents and to elect and choose a fresh council and executive government that they see fit. A lot of the issues were not seeing happening on the ground. On a daily basis, we have to drive on roads that's full of potholes. Again, traffic is a mess. Safety is a concern. It keeps on flaring up. And what's also very concerning is that these stories that we only get to hear months and months later of the cause of the fire. I mean, it's really shocking where at the JP fire that somebody apparently wanted to conceal murder, set the building on fire, therefore killing 77 more people. I mean, where does this stop? We certainly, as a government, as a collective, need to do much more. And this is not a finger-pointing exercise. We need to ensure that the government must ensure the safety, and it's a priority of our party to ensure that our residents are safe.
Yeah, people who aren't aware would imagine, Michael, that you're speaking outside of the government, but that's not true, right? You're a councillor yourself, and I imagine have had an opportunity to have some kind of influence. What's your response to people who are saying that the DA has also had a shot of turning things around, and that certainly hasn't happened, and it's a bit convenient to call for a re-election, essentially, now that you're no longer at the helm of the council?
Well, you see, when we were in government, many things were done. In fact, we were in the forefront of recruiting 1,300 NPD officers. So those programs cannot be completed within a year or two. Sometimes, it takes more than one political term to do so. We certainly are not standing back there and just throwing stones at a glass house. We want to ensure that we do our jobs as opposition effectively. We are in opposition right now. But certainly we want to call on the residents to understand the challenges that we face within the city, that it's not a single party that can go out there. That's why, of course, the multi-charter is important. The Moonshot Pact that's being promoted by several parties is important. We need to rescue South Africa. And certainly I think that the residents will have a chance to do that if we all work together.
All right, Micheal Sun, for your time, really do appreciate your reaction. Micheal Sun is a councillor of the DA. As we continue watching this incredibly troubling development around a shooting that took place in Zakariyya Park, the chief whip of the city of Johannesburg was wounded alongside two other people, and sadly a Rand Water executive was fatally shot.